the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Calling all radio enthusiasts with storm claims and legal questions. Join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340 for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. She's your guide to hurricane-related issues, property insurance law, and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's now time for Connecting Caregivers with author, speaker, caregiver advocate, and talk show host, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for caregivers.
Caregivers around the world today, it's time to lift you up. It's time to celebrate. Good afternoon and welcome to Connecting Caregivers with me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. On the show where you can find help and hope. So we're just here to help you caregivers with resources, a shoulder, a laugh. Like I say all the time, if you have a question about something or you need something that I haven't covered, just email me through my website, lindaburhans.com. And if I don't have the answer, I promise you I will find someone that has the answer. And that's one of the fabulous things about being in this Tampa Bay community, because we have a ton of professionals that
because we have a ton of old people.
Yes, we do. We do have that too. Well, they say that Florida is God's waiting room. I don't know.
Well, at least we're going in the right direction.
But I have my friend Maureen Rulison and Sheri Gruden on the show today, and we're going to talk in a little bit. Thank you, ladies. And you know what? There are two professionals in this senior community that if it wasn't for the senior community, we probably wouldn't be friends.
Right.
And what a gift. I mean, to be able to work and help seniors and make lifelong relationships and friendships, it just makes me so happy. Because you know me, I love making new friends. So I've been meeting new people this week for the conference that I don't know them. You know, we do a Zoom, we see how things go, and I'm like, oh, some of them are just like so damn delightful. It's wonderful. But the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to our newest listeners. We have Sue in Clearwater. We have Lisa in Largo, and we have Kim in St. Pete.
Well, welcome, ladies, and I would like to start off by saying Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes, Happy Valentine's. I forgot, because, you know, I don't get no Valentine's no more, so.
I know.
But you're my galentine. I'm going to take you out to lunch today. Yeah, she's my bud. She's my bud. I mean, 45 years we've been friends. We know the good, the bad, and the ugly. But a lot of good and a lot of laughs. So before we start with our guests, I just wanted to encourage you once again to get into a support group. So I had a live support group at Out in Court this morning. There was 12 people there, and it was absolutely fabulous. Because all of a sudden you see somebody look to the person next to them and go, oh, they just take a deep breath, like, oh, I'm okay, it's safe here. Or, I mean, at one point we were just all laughing because caregivers can do some pretty silly things. And when you realize it with a bunch of other people, you're like, okay, I'm good. It's not so bad. So, get into a support group. Go to my website, lindaburhans.com, under events. There are my support groups there, live and virtual, and also other facilitators, because I'm not the only girl on the block. So go there, and there's all people there that will help you out. So, Maureen, how are you today?
Well, I'm very, very happy to be here with all of you. And, you know, I was reminded when you started talking, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton sing a song, You Can't Make Old Friends. And that's what this feels like.
Yeah, we are blessed. So what's going on with you, Maureen?
So much.
Well, first tell our listeners who you are, the ones that don't know yet.
Okay. I'm me.
My friend.
I am a lot of things, board certified patient advocate, a certified Medicaid planner, but I would say that the most important thing I am right now is I am Brian LeBlanc's bub, his backup brain, because he is living with dementia and he is living in a memory care right now. And I'll say this to people who probably already know it. If you think having your loved one in a community makes caregiving easier, you're wrong.
Yep.
It actually makes it more challenging.
I just said to some of the people in the support group this morning, just because your loved one is in a community, nothing stopped. You're still a 24/7 caregiver. No one knows your loved one better than you, and no one is going to advocate for them better than you.
So they've been telling me that Brian is not sleeping. I say, well, he is, or he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right? Can you be a little more specific?
Well, they must love you at home.
Yeah.
And so what I finally landed on is that I'm going to spend the night there tonight. I'm telling Brian it's our Valentine's Day
nice.
date, but I'm spending the night there tonight. I bet you all can already guess what I suspect is keeping him awake, but I'm going to find out if I'm wrong or right and what the truth is. And then we're going to go from there because I do want him sleeping. He needs that refreshment and that time to heal. So
Well, I think that's so great that you're going to spend the night with him.
I am. I got myself some cool jammies to wear there too.
Nice.
Do they have hearts on them for Valentine's?
They do not. They do not. They have hummingbirds on them.
Oh, that's a nice thing. All right, so what have you been doing lately? What's going on? I know there's a lot of action happening.
Action.
Yeah, but all right, so tell them caregiver support and resources and where they can find you now. We'll tell them later again.
So caregiversupport&resources.com.
Yep.
And you can look me up there. And then I also am the author, of this book, Because I Love You, my book about me, which can be found on Amazon.
Yeah.
So that I'm making Jeff Bezos very rich.
Yeah, without you, he'd be nothing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the truth. And what the book is designed for is to help people put together a life care plan.
Yeah.
For themselves.
Yep.
For the person that they love or people that they love.
Yep.
And once the book came out and people were buying it, guess what? I was getting questions. Well, how do I do this? And how do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And where do I find this out? So never let it be said that continuous quality improvement isn't something important to me. I said, well, let's build a masterclass that will help people to do this.
When you can write in it.
Yeah, you have to write in it.
You have to write in it.
You need to put down your password, your doctor, your veterinarian, your whatever. I just sent one to my stepmother.
This is wonderful.
And I was like, please fill this out for me. Because I'm the main person and I'm going to have to finalize
I have nobody looking after me. Can you fill it out?
It starts off with what I call the necessarily boring parts. You know, all of your demographic
Banking,
information, your banking, your who's your who and what's your what and all that. And then it delves into the fun stuff. What's your favorite food? You know, who do you...
TV show.
TV shows, what makes you happy? And that's not just the person that needs support. It's also for the caregiver.
Yeah.
Because two things that I can tell you that are absolutely true without any question. One is if you don't take care of the caregiver, the person who needs support is going to lose out big time.
Yeah.
The second thing I can tell you is that caregivers are very generous to everyone except themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they don't do this for themselves, this book can become like a teacher's lesson plan.
Yeah.
If something happens where the caregiver isn't there, where they're not able to care, they can go, anybody who steps up to the plate.
Yeah, because the stuff you need to know. I mean, God forbid if something would happen to me tomorrow. My daughter has no idea who my vet is. My daughter knows the main bank I go to, and then my millions of dollars I have hidden she doesn't know about.
I saw the billboards.
But she knows certain things, but certain things she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And all that stuff has to be settled up. People's credit cards, their passwords, and just for me to say in this book what I want for myself as I'm aging in the future. So somebody told me recently, she asked her dad, if you ever get dementia or whatever and you need to go into a community, whatever, what TV show would you want to watch? And he said, The Simpsons. Because he loves it and it's colorful and it's whatever. Well, not too many people would pick that.
No.
But isn't that good to know?
Yes.
That that's what he would like? So you could, like, put him in his nice recliner and put The Simpsons on and have a little snack instead of sticking him in front of a football game or whatever we think he might like.
Well, interestingly, one of the tips that I give in my putting together your book about your person is, if they like The Simpsons, we have technology now where you can record episodes of The Simpsons. And if it were dementia that the person ended up having, you can play the same episode
over and over.
And
we have
enjoy
YouTube
it.
University.
Yeah.
It's all there.
You know, I have a client who loves baseball. Well, what happens when baseball season ends, right? So I said, record the games.
Yeah.
He can watch them over and over again. So
I say you can go on YouTube and do the best of baseball.
Yeah. So anyhow, this book is an encouragement. Certainly, we have all kinds of professionals sitting here in this room that can help you with parts of the book, and that's the purpose of the master classes, to bring those professionals forward and let them tell people what they need. And you have to be very personalized in the book, but you can know who you want to talk to and what you want to talk to them about.
Even if it just brings questions up.
Yes.
Oh, now I look at this and I go, oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't realize that. You know, we plan for our vacations. We plan for this. We don't plan for our aging. And we need to plan for our aging because it's up to us. Nobody's going to know what we want if we don't tell them. Because I think if you even ask my daughter right now, what TV show does mom want to watch? I don't know if she would know.
Well, and I'm going to tell you that it used to be in the olden days that people would plan their funerals. They would go usually to the church that they belong to. And, well, people don't do that anymore. And so I had Brian, when he was still cognitively capable, do a recording to my future care partners, he entitled it. And part of what he discusses in there is what he wants for his end of life journey to be like. And being the little stinker that he is, he said, well, first thing is, if they didn't come to see me when I was alive, I don't want them looking at me while I'm laying there dying. So,
good point.
So now I've got a, notebook.
For some people off the list.
So,
but it's true. He should have his wishes.
Absolutely.
He should have his wishes.
Absolutely. So that's, and there's more to come.
He can only have his wishes if we know what his wishes are.
Okay, I'm going to take a moment and just tell you guys about my bad as a caregiver, okay? Not my only bad, but most recent bad, okay? Brian was an advocate and an educator for people living with dementia, and one of his big things was that the last act of advocacy and education was to donate his brain to science. I wasn't thrilled with the idea. So guess who procrastinated on it? Now he's on end-of-life hospice. And now I hope I'm going to be able to get this all together in time. If you want to do something like that, I highly, highly recommend you get started early because it's extremely detailed.
And you know what? Everything we need to be prepared. There are people that listen to the show today that just got a diagnosis. You got a whole long road ahead of you. And there's lots of ways that you can get help. If you can get assistance, you can get guidance. Because if you just got a diagnosis, I'm sure your head is just spinning. You're like, what the heck? And if you don't know anything about the disease that's connected to that diagnosis, whether it's cancer or Parkinson's or dementia or whatever, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. When you have a new baby, they teach you what to do. They teach you how to breastfeed. They teach you how to diaper. They teach you how to do that. And you have a whole bunch of people around you that just want to help you. And then we get to end of life. It's a different story.
Not the same.
No, it's not the same. But we need to have those conversations with our family and friends, and we need to know who's there for us and who's not. and who can be and who
You know,
can't.
Brian was so big about removing the stigma of dementia from the people who are living with it. But I want to say, let's remove the stigma of planning. Like, I think people, myself included, if you can see me raising my hand, think if you talk about it, some kind of woo-woo thing is going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to bring it on to you. Well, okay, if you do, at least you're planned for it.
Yeah.
So,
But really, I mean, we have so many choices in aging, so many different things.
and if you there, there's lots of places that try to be a one-stop shop, but I have to tell you, the silos of resources are so widespread that you can't ever really know everything that's out there.
No, you can't. And I want you to always remember, wherever your loved one is, you're still that 24/7 caregiver. You still worry about them all the time. You're their biggest advocate. Nobody, and it's the squeaky wheel. I feel very sad for sometimes people that are in the community. Nobody comes to visit them or see how they are or if they're being taken care of.
I just bought a belt for a man who's where Brian is because he's walking around holding up his pants. And
How
so
sad is that?
I said to one of the CNAs who's excellent, I said, can you give me an idea what size belt I should get? Fred, let's say.
Yeah.
And she's told me, and how much is a belt at Walmart? Okay. Right. I went by. This man was so happy.
Yeah, because I can walk and my pants aren't falling down.
Yeah, he was.
I would have just eaten more.
No, he's already done that.
No more room there.
No. But really, a simple thing like that.
Yeah, well, it makes me sad to see, and
that he doesn't have anybody to advocate for him.
I'm there so much. I spend 2 to 3 hours a day, every day, pretty much there. So they know me.
You, right? Some of them probably think you work there.
Well, actually, I do work there.
They think you're family.
No, I more often get confused as one of the residents. So I try to carry my pocketbook slung across me like a body bag, so a hint I can leave here.
Yeah, exactly.
He made me laugh. So this morning I'm doing the support group at Arden Courts, and every now and then somebody knocks on the door that is a resident. So of course you don't want the resident to come in. So I tell them, your meeting's down the hall, whatever. But a few months ago, the support group starts at like 10 o'clock. It's like 10:30, and this lady comes to the door with her walker, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, whatever. And about an hour later, I got a call from Donna. She's like, why did you not let that woman in the support group? She didn't come back. I said, I'm so sorry.
Not when that bitch is there.
You don't know, right?
They could have given you a heads up. Okay?
Yeah, well, if it was just like at the beginning of the group, but it was like a half hour already we were in, but whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
well,
so
when
now
the
I'm very careful.
When entertainment
Someone comes
in
the door, I open it up and I chat with them a little bit.
When entertainment comes into the memory care, they're like, they'll come over, hold my hands to make me stand up and dance. And I'm like,
oh my gosh. I have to tell you something hysterical. So a couple of weeks ago, I go to a store that I go to all the time. So everybody knows me there. And I'm at one cashier, and the other cashier goes, Linda, when you're done, come over here. I got to tell you something. I go, yeah, okay. So I go over there, and she goes, so last night I went home from work, and I have 2 birds in a big cage. And I went over to say hi to my birds, and I looked on the bottom of the cage, and there was your picture. From the newspaper. Wow. So, Arden Courts, please don't listen. So I said to her, she goes, so I looked in there and I said to my husband, that's my customer. I said, so you're telling me your customers? No, the bird did it. The bird did it. Oh my gosh.
That is.
I never did think that would happen, but.
I've never heard of that happening. So
just think of the chances.
You.
Yes. Just think of the chances. It's like what like a couple of weeks. So I take my Good Morning Seminole pictures and they put them on Bay News 9 and all this stuff now, which is kind of cool. So this FedEx guy comes to my house and he goes, "Do I know you?" And I go, "I don't know. Do you?" Because I'm around. And he goes, "Oh my God, you're Linda from Seminole." I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
So you don't know.
well, that's better than a bird cage.
Yes. But that's one for the books.
That is.
That's one for the books. My grandchildren thought it was the funniest thing they've ever
Sure they did.
heard.
Now they're using it for the dog's papers, probably.
Hey, they saw me. But anyway, so let's talk about the master class a little bit before it's time to go. When is it going to be? How are they going to find out about it?
Okay, so we're getting ready to launch. I'm going to say, so that I'm safe and not telling a fib,
Yeah.
that it will be live and available by the end of March.
Okay, cool.
And the best way to find out about it is to go to caregiversupportandresources.com.
Yep.
And you'll be able to go in through the magic of all the things you get, sign up for and get into that. And I really am looking for a lot of feedback. So if you do elect to take the course, I hope you'll take the time to give us some feedback.
And how long is the course?
Well, I don't quite know yet
Yeah, but
because they're still in the editing. As one of my team members says, the marketing team is still.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's about 20 hours.
Okay.
And it's something that you can take an hour at a time.
That's
or
the good part.
you can go back and do
You can
one
watch
section
it
of
anytime
it.
you want.
You have lifetime access to it. So,
And that's so important to caregivers because I'll tell you, even with the conferences and all my stuff, I look at my analytics, I find people watching it at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because that's when the time is for them and that's when they have a minute, whatever. And then recently I did an analytics on my newest subscribers and they're all men from the age of 40 to 60. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, where do men get their information from? YouTube. So it's been very, very interesting. So
and by the way, our friend Linda stars in this this masterclass 3 different times. And my marketing team said to me, why didn't you just partner with her in the beginning? I said, I did.
We do. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited for the master class. I think everybody is. I'll be promoting it. You'll have all the information in the show. But right now, it's time to hear from our wonderful partners because you know the deal. If you don't hear from them, you don't hear from me. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
Are you getting older or are you taking care of somebody who is? Getting older creates new problems you probably never imagined. One of the big ones is how do you pay for care? Care in your home, care in an assisted living facility, or care in a nursing home. Did you know that nursing home care in our community can cost up to $12,000 per month? For the last 33 years, our office has helped families access benefits, including Medicaid, VA, and PACE, to help pay for the cost of long-term care. Regardless of what your assets are or what your income is, you can qualify for these benefits. Proper planning and guidance are absolutely necessary to avoid being wiped out. Let us help. If you are in care or heading in that direction, we can help solve that problem. Take action now to obtain benefits to pay for the cost of care. Here are the 4 things that you need to do. 1, get a new power of attorney. Your old one probably isn't good enough. Get a healthcare surrogate and a living will. 3, get an estate plan that will not disqualify you from benefits. And 4, get a plan to qualify for Medicaid, PACE, or VA benefits to pay for the long-term care costs. Call us today for a free consultation, 727-539-0181, or go to flmedicaid.com and download our free book, on Medicaid and planning for long-term care. I'm Sean Scott. I'm here to help.
My mom was getting older, but she was able to live pretty independently until recently. When her case manager told me she would be discharged from rehab in just a few days, I didn't know what to do. But I knew for sure that she couldn't go back living alone at home. So that's when I contacted Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. My Senior Living Concierge, Lisa, was there for me through the whole process and was a free service for us to compare in-home care options and how that cost would compare to assisted living. With Lisa's help, we found a great new home for Mom, and she is thriving. Take it from me, don't go through this journey alone.
Hi, I'm Ellie Baldwin, co-founder and president of Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. We're a free placement and concierge service for families to help compare senior living communities and find the best place for you or a loved one. Call us today at 727-314-6451 or find us online at sunwayseniorliving.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we're back. So today we're going to also talk to my friend Sheri Gruden, and we're going to talk about Hearts and Hope, which is close to my heart. So Sheri, let's tell us about the background of Hearts and Hope first, what it is.
Hi, everybody. So Hearts and Hope is a fundraising event that happens every year. We've done this. This will be our 6th year coming, and it is under Better Living for Seniors, which is a group of professionals that volunteer their time to help our community seniors. So a long time ago, I was asked if I wanted to take over the fundraising committee. And I said,
because
yes.
Everybody else was like, no, we don't want to.
Yeah, they did. It was hard.
Yeah, it was.
And the fundraising, might have been $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they
a lot of effort for nothing.
They would do things, and it would be multiple events, and they wouldn't raise very much.
Right.
So I have a history in this community, in the music community as well. And I have friends that are musicians, born and raised here. So what I decided to do was mix my personal life with my professional life and my desire to help seniors in the community. So that's what we did. And so this is going to be our 6th year.
6 years already.
Of Hearts and Hope. And I named it that because it's giving of our hearts to give others hope. We live in a community that this year has been ravaged by 2 hurricanes. A lot of our seniors are displaced. They move to Florida. It's expensive to live here. They get an apartment. The apartment was trashed, and they couldn't go back. Mobile home, whatever their living situations were, they were destroyed by one of the 2 or maybe both of the hurricanes that we had come through this year. So every year it's something that
There always is something. Was COVID, was whatever, right?
Right. So, during COVID, we helped out then as well. That was our only in-person musical event. And at that year, we raised $14,000 in a 1-hour video online that went live. Tickets were $10, and people just made donations. We had sponsors that made donations.
There were gifts of COVID.
Yes, there were. Not many, but this was one of them.
Yeah.
And what we did with that money that year that we raised that during COVID is there were some restaurants who had lost their ability to serve and to go to work. So no money coming in to the servers and the cooks and the owners. And we pooled that money together for the Area Agency on Aging because they are an outlet to get the money to people. So what they did was they took that money and they were able to feed people that couldn't go to the grocery store because they are seniors and it was dangerous for them to go out. Right. They didn't want to get COVID. So they were shut in. So we gave that money, and we had 6 restaurants through the Area Agency on Aging who brokered that kept their staff, kept the doors open.
So
they
good for
provided that
everybody.
food. That food was distributed. So it's just one of the things that this does. So all those years ago, we started on a wing and a prayer, and it has just continually grown into a musical festival that happens.
That's what it is, a musical festival.
Once a year. This year, we're going to be at Bayboro Brewing, which is veteran-owned and operated. It's a beautiful place. They have an inside concert hall, and they've got an outside beer garden. They really are. They are community servants as well.
Exactly.
So we have about 500 people that come through our event every year. The entertainers this year, I think we have 14 bands. Some are acoustic outside, some are more of the rock and roll on the inside. And they all do this for free. I have a lot of friends in this community that want to help and give back.
Yeah.
This is the way they do it. March of last year, for our one-day event, we raised $28,000. As of last night, because Hearts and Hope is in a little over a week and a half, it's a week from Sunday, our event in St. Petersburg, it's just one day, we're already at $20,000. So the sponsors are in our community,
right?
And they help fund that. There are sponsors that will also give gift baskets, guitars. We get those signed. There are all kinds of things in a raffle situation. People can also donate. You don't even have to attend, but some people donate. Tickets are $40, and that gets you all day access to all things. There's food. They have really great food there.
Yeah, they do.
And beverages. They've got beer and wine, and they got their liquor license. So that's going to be available.
And plus you get to see other people in the community outside of work.
Right.
Let's just have a little snack. Let's have a little drink. Let's just chat and spend some time together, because the people that are supporting this are mostly the people that are that support the senior community.
Correct.
You know, businesses or people that are just involved with that. And we need a little break. It's kind of nice to have a day where you can just go and listen to some music and chat with your friends.
Yes.
And know that you're making a difference.
Right. So this past year, when we raised that $28,000, we were able to put that during the hurricane who had wiped out people. Even some of the benefactors and the donors that attend our events, they lost everything in their
they were
home.
lost too.
They've donated again. So
how kind.
It's been really amazing. But our seniors don't have that bank account, or they don't have that insurance that's going to take care of them.
Right.
So you move to Florida, it's expensive. You go through the money that you had up north, and now you just live month to month. But if there's an issue that comes up, you know, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So the money we raised this year, we actually...
It's really like an emergency fund in a way.
It is. Sorry.
It's okay. Talk. Take a drink. No, but it really is like an emergency, somewhere you can turn to when something happens. Because people don't know where to turn or what to do.
So the vehicle... Keep talking. Sorry about that.
So I'm telling you, because she's just having a little water here, that I've gone every year. I volunteered every year. This year I can't because I have some friends coming in, some family coming in. But it's an amazing event. And if you can just go and spend an afternoon with some people that you know or don't know and have something nice to eat and listen to fabulous music. This is fabulous music. These aren't guys from around the corner. These are guys that have records, who have albums, who have been around, and their music is just unbelievable. You just walk in there and the place is rocking. If you can go to that like rock and roll hall, I call it, Or you can go outside where you're just like outside, listening to like some cool music. It's fabulous.
It is. We have a blast every year. So it's coming up Sunday, February 23rd at Bayboro Brewing.
And where can they get tickets?
They can get tickets at mytb.com. My Tampa Bay Tickets, mytampabaytickets.com.
All right.
They can get their tickets there. They can go to Better Living for Seniors, Pinellas.org or BLSPinellas.org. And you can find the link there.
And I'll put all that information in the show so you can just look it up and you can get your tickets or whatever you want. So think about it. A nice afternoon with some friends. You can go to church in the morning if you want. You can go down to St. Pete. The place is lovely. There's plenty of room. The weather's going to be good. Weather looks like it's thank God we got rid of that cold weather. That was
It's going to
killing
be
me.
chillier next week, 60s high, but
I'll take it.
I know.
I'll take it. I don't want it hot.
Oh, I don't
No, I
want
don't want
it
it
heat.
hot, but I don't want it cold.
Yeah.
I look at my sisters that live in like Maine and Pennsylvania. I'm like, it's just like too painful. That would make me depressed. That's one of the reasons I moved to Florida. You know, my husband always wanted to move here. I didn't want to move here. But then as I got older, we had those like 4 gray months in New York. I was like, done. I want to go there.
So I wanted to tell you before I had that little choking fit, the Area Agency on Aging as a vehicle has multiple branches that they can get out into the community and can help them. Whereas we'll raise the money, we donate it to the Area Agency on Aging, which is a nonprofit, and they take that money and put it in an unmet needs fund.
Okay.
Some of our seniors who were displaced had to put their belongings in a storage. So they also, if they're finding a new place, have to pay first, last, and security.
Oh my God.
So the Unmet Needs Fund, the money that we raised, they can call in to the Area Agency on Aging, and they will screen them. And if they are able to do it, they will help them to maybe pay a couple of months worth of storage for them until they get in, or pay their first, last,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, or pay a power deposit or whatever is needed. They also supply diapers. Incontinence supplies are outrageously expensive. And if you're on a fixed income, that hurts. So there are ways that the Area Agency takes care of that. If you don't have food, they can help with that. So we put this money, I think we donated between Better Living for Seniors membership and Hearts and Hope. We gave them, I think it was close to $40,000 this year for that Unmet Needs Fund. And certainly they need it in our community for our seniors.
Senior. I cannot imagine being somewhere and saying I can't have the electric turn on, or I don't have any food, or whatever. You know, but that's why I said I'm so glad with the professionals we have in our community and the organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Falls Prevention Coalition or whatever. So I just hooked up with a company. It's called Samaritan's Feet.
I heard about them this morning.
Aren't they fabulous?
Yeah.
So Samaritan's Feet. So there was the man who runs it lived in, I don't know, another country. And he didn't get his first pair of shoes till he was like 7 or 8 years old. And then he came to the United States later and became very successful. And then he went back to his country and nobody still had shoes. So he got shoes for all the children there. Well, now he's also doing shoes for seniors. So we're going to have an event here in a couple of months where they're going to be able to come and get free shoes that fit them. Because, you know, one of our biggest things in Florida is flip-flops, slippers, or I can't get the shoe on because I have a bump on my toe, you know, whatever. And there'll be podiatrists there. And I just so blessed to have that.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine being a senior and being afraid to go out because I don't have a good pair of shoes. Or because I'm going to fall.
Or to trip and fall. Yeah. And it's
and then that's the end.
Hospital, rehab, maybe home, maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, to hook up with these different organizations that want to do different things for our seniors just blesses my heart.
Yeah.
Because we can make a difference. And a pair of shoes can be a difference for a person. We don't realize how many of our seniors are isolated in their homes.
Yep.
Nobody sees them. They're just in there. Maybe, I even have a neighbor. She only goes out on Friday nights with her girlfriend for dinner. I don't know what else she does, but she's in there. The storm shutters are done. We need to contact with our community. We need to contact with our seniors. We need to talk to our neighbors. So one of the things I was talking about at the support group this morning is in the back of my card, it says the person I'm with has Alzheimer's and dementia, may not understand clearly what's being said or whatever. Please have your patience. We need to let our neighbors what's going on. So I was telling them this morning, this was a few years ago, a caregiver came in the support group, took a couple of those cards, rah-rah, says kumbah, and she called me a couple of days later and says, can I have 14 more cards? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I leave her 14 cards at an envelope by my house. She comes and gets them, and she comes back to the next group, and she's like, those cards saved my life. What are you talking about? So she lives in a mobile home park, and her husband is starting to wander in people's backyards. And when he walks the dog, he's not cleaning up the poo. And everybody's looking at him like he's the worst guy in town. So she just took one card and brought it to every neighbor. And they said, he can come in our yard. We'll clean up the poo. Oh, maybe he would like some lemonade.
Yay.
Yeah. So now she has a community of people that know what's going on with her.
Yeah, because otherwise you're angry.
Yeah.
If some guy
what's with that guy?
Yeah.
But, sometimes we're kind of, I don't know why, kind of embarrassed or ashamed to say that my loved one has. You must come across that. Oh, tell me. So, really.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, there is a huge stigma around the diagnosis of dementia still. And I can tell you from personal and professional experience that when people learn that someone that they have been good friends with for many years, or they go to their church for many years, when they hear that they have that diagnosis of dementia, it's like
they hide.
They hide. I have my own beliefs now, having been a caregiver, as to why they do that. And I got to say, some of it has got to be based in fear and lack of knowledge, which shame on us.
Shame on us.
But in this masterclass, if you attend it, we have the bishop from South Carolina of the Methodist Church, blah, 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 lots of degrees and all this kind of stuff. And what he speaks on so eloquently is what the purpose of any faith-based organization is community.
Yeah.
And how we have not only let down the people living with dementia, but we've let down a lot of our elders.
And our caregivers. I can't go to church anymore because of my loved one's behavior or whatever. Well, I don't understand why you have Sunday school. Why don't you have a separate Sunday school for people with dementia? It can probably be the same damn program, right?
Yeah. It's, some people...
And just take turns.
...are afraid that they're going to fail.
Word.
No, they're afraid that they're going to fail. And you know what? There's only one good way to fail, and that's to fail forward. When you do make a mistake, first you say, I'm sorry, I've had to learn that. Woo. And second, you say, well, what can I do to do it better?
Yeah.
And reach out and ask for help. Don't be afraid, because everybody's afraid, then nothing happens.
Well, you know what happens too? And, I talk about this all the time. So people offer you help, you go, no, I'm okay, which is like so full of baloney or whatever. But people want to help you. And when people know, they'll do better. So let them help you, not just you. Let them help your loved one.
And Linda lives what she preaches. She will call me, email me, whatever, text me, and say, what can I do to support you? And there have been a few times that I just need a break today from going to see Brian, or Thursday or whatever, going to see. But it's not that I don't love Brian. It's not that I don't love being with Brian. But I'm a little bit tired. And so she'll go visit Brian. And he loves seeing someone's face but mine.
Yeah. And that's why I say to caregivers, you may think you're the bomb caregiver.
Well, I am.
And only you can do it. But I really believe that sometimes your loved one is saying under their breath, could you please go away for a little while? Let somebody else come over here and hang out with me.
But sometimes I feel like I should get faces on a stick and like,
Yeah.
No, but I went away and when I got back, my husband said, "You're much nicer now."
Because you don't realize it as you're
I
gritting
thought
through your
I was
teeth,
so
thinking
darn
you're doing
patient.
you're doing the best
So
job
I
in the
hadn't
world.
hit him or anything.
he was still alive.
And when he said that, I was like, "Whoa!"
Because you
I
don't
really-
realize it, you're just in it.
I guess I was sharp, too.
Yeah, yeah, and also don't. Somebody said to me after my mom passed away, Linda, not only did you not let me help you, but you didn't give me the privilege of meeting your mother. So that's not really very.
No one said that about Jack.
Jack could have entertained a whole troop of people.
One thing that I have found very interesting, I've told the staff where Brian is, go to YouTube, type in Brian LeBlanc, Alzheimer's, and hundreds of videos will come up. The reason I want them to do that is I want them to see who Brian was. I want them to know that this was someone
Was
who
vibrant and
oh my goodness.
educational. I mean, how many times he was on the show?
Hysterically funny
Yes,
and
he
loving.
was.
Yeah.
And it gives him the being a real person.
Yep.
And so sometimes what I do is I put on my phone him singing and I'll take it in and so that he gets to remember him singing. But also they're like, who's that singing? I'll say, well, that's Brian singing.
And then they're all interested.
Yeah. So I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody. It's a very hard job that they do. I wear myself out just doing things for one person. So doing it, some of them.
And you love him.
Yeah, that's right. Well, on Tuesdays, but
and Valentine's Day.
And Valentine's Day. I'm going to spend the night with him tonight, guys. It's his Valentine's Day gift. And you should have seen his little face with his little dementia just perking right up when I said we're going to spend the night.
Everybody likes a date.
That's why his little eyebrows went up and down. That's why I got pajamas.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a hard job, so I am not ragging on what the people do. They are wonderful there. But when you can make someone relatable, their hearts are going to be in the care more, I feel.
And only you can teach them that about your loved one.
Sorry, Sheri.
That's why it's very sad when people don't get visitors and they don't have people there. But right now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners, so don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Choosing the right chiropractor is an important choice to make. Located in Seminole, the Alexander Spine Center team is trained on the latest chiropractic treatments and technologies. At Alexander Spine Center, you'll find chiropractic and physical therapy care that is safe, effective, and a natural approach to pain and other health-related issues. Chiropractic unlocks your body's potential and natural healing process to ensure your life is a healthy life. We treat clients from the womb to the tomb. Call 727-397-3000 for a free consultation today or visit our website at www.alexanderspinecenter.com.
They take good care of me twice a week, so check them out.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
We believe the power of the human body and mind can do amazing things, and that tapping into that power, not just tricking it with a temporary disguise, is possible. Superpatch technology uses a special pattern and vibrotactile technology to help you go from feeling blah to hurrah. Now, once the Superpatch is in contact with your skin, it triggers a neutral response in the brainstem that helps you tackle your daily problems head on. Whether you're struggling with pain, balance, stress, or focus, we have a solution that might be right for you. With Super Patch's 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hi, this is Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers. I started using the Liberty Patch over 3 years ago. I used to be a tripper, but since wearing a Liberty Patch, I haven't tripped once. The Liberty Patch is proven to reduce the risk of falling by up to 8 times. And as we all know, if you prevent the fall, you prevent the call. Don't wait until it's too late. Preventative solutions are the answer.
Super Patch does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure illness. Super Patch is FDA registered. To receive 25% off your first order, go to sticktoit.info. That's sticktoit.info and learn more.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We're back. Just talking about Woodstock during the break. I don't know why, but I did when I was a kid. I had a ticket to Woodstock, but my mother wouldn't let me go. But anyway, so I tell you a quick story before we go about a day with Brian LeBlanc and Linda Burhans. So Brian and I decided to. This is a year or so ago, 2 years maybe.
Oh, longer than that.
5 years. I don't know. So. Decided to go to the movies to see Elvis because Maureen wasn't so crazy about Elvis, but Brian and I were. And so we go to a mall I had never been before. I'd never been to that theater before. And you just see where the people are going. So you park and you just kind of like follow where the people are going. And we go in and we go to the show and everything's fine. And after a little while, Brian says to me that he has to go to the restroom. And I didn't ask Maureen, does he go to the restroom by himself or if he needs me to go or whatever. And it's like, what do you say to the guy? So I was like, are you okay to go? And he said, yeah, he's okay to go. So he leaves. I'm like timing it and comes back in a few minutes. It was fine. Oh, then like a half hour later, he's got to go to the restroom again. And then again, like 3 times during the movie. So when the movie was over, he's like, oh, this was really fun, Linda. We should do this again. And I said, no more big gulps for you because you go to the bathroom too much. You make me too nervous. He just laughed. Okay, now we come out of the theater. I don't know where the heck I am. Oh, my gosh. I'm in some mall. I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea. And Brian goes, oh, really good, Linda. The dementia guy and you. What are we going to do? So I see a security guard. And I go over to him and he goes, did you come in near the restaurants? I go, yes, we came in near the restaurants. Okay, go over there, take the escalator down. And as we're walking out the back door of the mall, there's a restaurant there and it's like bacon. And Brian goes, yeah, when we came in, you said, remember where that bacon place is in case we get lost.
Oh my gosh.
She needed the visual cue to read.
Yeah, no, I didn't do
But he remembered and Linda didn't.
I didn't do very well, though, but we worked it out. He got home safe, so that was all good. So thanks so much for being with us today. I'm going to have all the information in the show about the masterclass and about the Hearts and Hope event that's coming up. Please come, and you know what? You don't have to be in the industry to come to Hearts and Hope. Anybody can come to Hearts and Hope. So come and say, I heard you on the radio, Linda. Let's chat. I would love to chat with you. So tune in next week for another fabulous show. Remember, God loves you all the time, and have a delicious day.